Welcome back to the Heroes Table. Today we're speaking with Fash, boxing champion and co-founder of Boxer. Fash, thank you and welcome to the Heroes Table, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And so I have brought this iPad here today because you actually have so many different accomplishments that I want to make sure that I get them all correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so introducing Fash. You're the first Singaporean woman to win international boxing gold in 2016, correct?
Yes. Not self-proclaimed though.
Huh?
Not self-proclaimed.
Well, you won it, so you can be. You can proclaim it, okay? You're allowed to. A former WBC World number 15 Super Flyweight.
Yeah.
Reigning WBC Female Asia Continental Light Flyweight Champion.
Yeah.
And you won that March 2026 this year.
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then you were actually a former preschool teacher, and you're the co-founder of the women's boxing brand BXHR?
Yes.
Correct.
Pronounced as Boxer.
Boxer.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Cool. All right, great. Thank you. Starting out, actually, we've spoken a little bit before, and you were telling me that when you were younger, you were quite interested in like the violin, right?
Yes.
But then your parents kind of guided you toward martial arts.
Yeah.
Kind of wonder what if or think more about.
I do think about it a lot because although like I'm a boxer now, in my head, I have like a different picture of me because I've always liked performing arts. And I'm not sure where I got that from because I've always liked instruments and growing up, I listened to classical music. I was always on symphony when it was on the radio station. And I was very attracted to ballet. So in my head, I'm just like a little girl with a tutu and with a violin. So it's like completely different. But yeah, I guess boxing is also a way or another sort of like a way it's like artsy-fartsy as well in the terms of like the way you move. Except like it's not very feminine, not very girlish. It's a bit rough. But yeah, I still like being a boxer, although I'm not a performing artist.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So when you were younger, how did you feel then when you were guided toward maybe more martial arts? So was there ever this moment of like conflict where you're like, well, violin and ballet?
Yeah.
Or did you have a moment along those lines, or was it just hopped right into it?
Not quite. I've always been an adventurous kid. So I like doing like different things, whether it's sports, whether it's like music, or I'm just really adventurous. Even with food, I like to, venture out stuff. So like I guess I'm more into martial arts because my dad was a martial artist. And the root of how I became a martial artist was both of my parents don't want me to get bullied. It's like a very conventional reason, but they didn't want to be bullied. They don't want me to be bullied in school.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so like my dad would teach me how to do like certain moves at home. And I guess like learning martial art at that point of time, in terms of cost, I guess they can bear it better than going to a violin class.
See.
It's more affordable and my dad can just teach me from home. Like buying a violin itself is costly and going to school itself is costly. So I guess that's why we went that route. Yeah. But I enjoyed like growing up doing lots of sports, running, doing badminton. I enjoy all the stuff because like that's how my parents and I bonded. And yeah, like those were like my early like childhood memory as well.
So that's what I was going to ask, because it doesn't sound like on paper, it might sound like your dad sent you to like the strictest dojo and was like paying 10 grand a month, or something. But in reality, then that makes a lot more sense because you're doing it with your father, you're doing it with your family. So it becomes this bonding activity.
Yeah,
and
correct.
It's beautiful in that way.
Yeah, it wasn't like, you have to take martial arts. All he wanted us to do was to be a confident child. There's 5 of us. He want all of us to be confident and not be afraid of anyone and not be afraid to voice out. I guess when I got into primary school, I saw they had like karate performance. I'm like, wow, that looks like, movies in the Karate Kid. And I play a lot of Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. I'm like, wow, I just want to do one of those moves. And I signed up by myself, actually. So it wasn't encouraged by my parents.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's really interesting. So the other question then, had you actually gone for violin, how do you think your life would look now? And this is all just hypothetical.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious.
Yeah. I've never played the violin. Actually, like a lot of times, like one of our activities back then as a family was to like just walk around the shopping mall. We call it like the Singapore sport. We walk around shopping mall.
I do
And
too, so it's
yeah,
okay.
we would always drop by the shop where they sell lots of like classical instruments. So like this is wrong, like you shouldn't be doing this, but like I would just pick up the violin off the shelf and start
Oh,
and start playing
if any
it.
children are watching, she's saying it's not the right thing
It's
to do.
not the right thing.
Especially-
Can't do that. Like I would just sit down by the piano that's meant for display and then I start like, playing it.
I think most all kids have had an
Yes, of
experience
course.
like this. Like we've all done this when we walk by the piano shop.
Yeah. And like I still remember this very clearly. There was one, I think it was at Plaza Singapura at the top floor, and there was like a violin on a shelf and it was on display, but I didn't know it was someone else's violin that they ordered. So I just took it off the shelf and started playing it, and the shopkeeper just took it away from me and put it back.
Oh, that's quite funny.
Yeah.
That's how it is when you're a kid.
It is how it is. But yeah, those were like one of my earliest memories, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice. So, what kind of like martial arts did your dad practice?
So he'd said that he did boxing before. His main sport is silat
See that?
and football, but mainly silat. He does
Okay.
it for he said he was in the national team doing pesta sukan and things like that. So that's like his main sport.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I never learned silat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
I guess he wanted me to like be a person of my own and experiment other martial arts as well. So I guess that's why I've never been in silat. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. And so you said that your parents taught this to all of your siblings as well, like, kind of.
Yeah, all of my siblings did sports.
Did they?
Most of us actually, we went to the same karate classes, but only I sort of like stick to learning martial art. Yeah, the rest,
Interesting.
I guess like it's very understandable because not everyone want to go that route. And especially if you live in Singapore, you would think about like settling down and having a secure finance and, doing martial arts or doing sports. It's like pretty much low ROI.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Singapore is the belly of the beast in terms of like.
Yeah, but I knew like I wanted to do martial arts and like boxing and MMA and all that stuff. What I did was I juggled my life with work, school, and my hobby.
Interesting.
So it's not like, oh, that's all I did back in the
Yeah.
day, right? I do go to school and then I go to work. My journey used to be like the whole map of Singapore because I used to live here in Yishun, and then I would take the train to Choa Chu Kang to work and would travel to Raffles City to train.
Yeah.
And then back home. So I'm basically doing
Doing the circle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like as easy as people think it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because now people just go to the gym that's close to their house, but I go to the gym because I like the coach and I like the environment. So yeah, that used to be my route.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did this while you were in school, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
School and work all at the
Okay.
same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was going on maybe in your mind in those more formative, or maybe not formative years, but those transitional years where it's
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm kind of leaving school. I need to
Yeah.
think about what I'm going to do job-wise
Yeah.
and things
Yeah.
like that, because I know you have the passion for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of pressure in Singapore. Like,
Yeah,
what
correct.
is going to be your job?
Yeah, correct. It's normal to feel lost, especially at that age where, right after secondary school, what do I do?
Yeah.
And right after going to poly, what do you do? You know what I mean? And I can't lie, like I have fallen out of like the sport before for a good 4 years.
Okay. When was that?
That was maybe between 18 and maybe 19 or 3 years actually, 19, 20, 21 till 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
I stopped training for a while, went through like a certain phase, boyfriend phase,
Mm-mm.
and then you stop training, and then I
There's
realized,
distractions.
correct, distraction, and then I realized, I'm getting too chunky right now.
I
So that's how I went back, and I just didn't wanna, be like a slob.
But no, it's losing your edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Because like I was just going to work and I didn't like the routine as well. I was just going to work and then meet your boyfriend and then you go to eat and then you just hang out, not doing anything. It's like
Yeah,
not productive at all.
I agree.
And then at a certain point, I'm like, oh, I hate this life. I was also smoking at that point of time.
Interesting.
So I was becoming very unhealthy, unfit, and unproductive. And that's when I thought like, I need to get out of this
Yeah,
this weird situation that I'm in.
like in a funk almost.
Yeah, yeah,
It's interesting because, you have those foundations where you're doing a lot of sports
yeah,
and being physically active that even when you take that 3 years off,
yeah.
it just doesn't feel right to you.
No, it's not. It's not. And especially if I've been when I did karate, I was in a national team as well. So I sort of know what's up. Like you've got a routine, you wake up, you eat proper, you go to training, and then there's this whole routine. And then when you get into that very unhealthy cycle, you will think like, hey, like it's not right. You want to get out of it.
Yeah,
So which I did. I'm glad.
I'm glad you did
I'm
too.
glad. Yeah.
So then the question would be, and this is just me
Yeah.
coming up, was there a pressure to get a more traditional job during that time period?
Yeah.
Because in my mind, all I'm thinking is like there were things that I liked to do when I was
Yeah.
that age, like
Yeah.
18, 19.
Yeah.
But then I kind of lost my discipline in
Yeah.
it because I felt this pressure of like, oh, I need to do a traditional job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I poured a lot of focus into that and
Yeah.
put the things I wanted to do on
Yeah.
the back burner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if that contributed.
Yes, sort of. And it also depends on like your partner. So
Mm.
your partner can influence you in a positive or negative way. So
Yes.
if they're not moving, then you'll be not moving as well. If they're someone who is active, you'll be active as well. I guess it was just that phase where, priorities change and I'm like, okay, I just gotta go to work, just gotta settle down, be just like a housewife, married, settle down. Yeah,
I
for
see.
that period, yeah, I did think about that. And I'm like, do I really want this life? Is this what I want, how I want to live till like when I die?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like the thing that a lot of people talk about right now is not about how long you live, but the quality of life you live till, right? You can be living till 60, but your life is great. So I always or often think about like the quality of my life, even if
Yeah.
it's whether it's short or long, it has to be quality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're 100% right. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care if I live to be 100 if I'm miserable the whole
Yeah,
time.
correct.
Like,
Yes.
what does it matter?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that you are doing what you love and you have friends and you have your loved ones with you. I think that completes the whole picture.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, okay, going back again or to the like when you're leaving poly, secondary, this sort of phase, was there a certain career that came up in your mind or
Not quite because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Sure.
And getting into early childhood was also by chance. I was just like hanging around, after school, just want to chill. And then someone's like, oh, my school needs a teacher. And then I said, I'm not a teacher. And then she was like, don't worry, they'll send you to school and they train you. That's how I
Okay.
started becoming a preschool teacher. But
Interesting.
teaching wasn't something that I wanted to do.
Interesting.
I was very lost because it's like I like to do sports, but I also wanted to go to an art school. And art school at that point of time, there wasn't any subsidy. Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
very expensive to get into like NAFA or LaSalle.
Okay.
But I wanted to go to an art school.
Okay.
And I didn't do quite well in school at that point of time. My dad was like, that's on you. You didn't study. I'm not paying. I'm not taking more money out of my pocket to send you to another school. So that's
Yeah.
on you. You go and figure your life out. And that's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I ended up going back to school and, studying, and which is great. Yeah. I navigated life at that point of time by myself and it felt good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I didn't feel like my dad was like, you're on your own. Like there was like a hidden message, I feel,
Okay.
through that. Yeah. Point of time when my dad said you're on your own, I felt like I was abandoned and I felt like why can't my dad provide me more? And then I guess financially as well. Now I think about it like, you have 5 children and having to put all of them to school. You need everyone to do well in school.
Yeah.
Be in school and do well so that he doesn't have to take extra money out of the pocket, right? So now I sort of understand, but at that point of time I felt like, oh, you have abandoned me and I have to figure life out by myself. I'm only 17 years old. And like, you are so irresponsible. But now after I navigated through that phase, I was like, this felt good. It felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the fascinating thing is, like you were saying, your parents gave you, or your dad in particular too, gave you that self-confidence
Yeah.
through a lot of your martial arts and
Yeah.
everything along those lines.
Yeah.
And so I'm certain that when he said that this is enough, and in some sort of way, like being a parent myself, like I can almost see it as you talk about this hidden message, but the message is like, you can do yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
given you the tools you need. Like, I'm not throwing you in the ocean.
Yeah.
You have a little raft. You can
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah.
And
I
so-
guess he had that confidence in me as well.
Okay.
And he know my daughter is capable of, navigating through life. And she'll figure it out. I'm not gonna interfere or intervene. I can help her once in a while here and there if she needs money, but like, you go and sort your life out.
Okay, this is a random question,
Yeah.
but do you mind if I ask what your
Sure.
birth order is?
You mean my siblings?
Yeah, for you. Where do you?
I'm the middle child.
You're the middle.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the middle, depending. So I've got 2 steps older sibling.
Okay.
So as a family, I'm the middle, obviously, but as like the Kamaruddin, I'm like the oldest.
Eldest daughter. I knew it. I knew it.
I'm the
Okay.
eldest. We take on lots of like,
You do.
yeah. I guess, did you just get to know about this when you come to Asia?
Yes, I think I got to know about it more recently over the past couple of years.
Like what, like the eldest take on as a member of the family?
For me in particular, it was like being thrown in the deep end in a way
Yeah.
because like I'm a middle child.
Yeah.
And so I have a weird sort of thing. I can't go into the whole story, but it was just interesting to see how much responsibility was on us.
Yeah.
And I was okay with it because I had a lot of responsibility already in my situation. Like my brother was a bit weaker and
Yeah.
physically, and
Yeah.
he had a lot of health issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in some ways, I felt like I had to be an eldest,
Right.
and in many sort of capacities. But yeah, when I came here, I didn't have the term of eldest daughter.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like just us and our sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then as we watched TikTok more over the years, it
Yeah.
was like this term started to come up, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I think for my
Yeah.
family, the roles are very interchangeable because what happened is like, if the oldest is not around, then the second one will then take over. And then if the both of them not around, then the third one will take over. And then depending on like whether you're brought up in a Muslim family or not, if like the oldest of, for example, my eldest is my sister. If she's not around, then any boy sibling would be the leader. So it's very interchangeable. So
Okay.
depending who is missing at that point of time.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then all of us grow up with like roles and responsibilities. So like I start cooking and chopping stuff at the age of like 8 years old, 9 years old.
Okay.
We do lots of tasks as like little kids, obviously, because my mom had 5 kids.
Yeah.
And doing housework on her own is very difficult. So she
Yeah.
trained everyone to do like different tasks. So we are all like sort of capable of doing things.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
So has your mom made you capable and your dad made
Yeah.
you very capable?
Yeah. I mean, they are also very strict.
That's fine.
They're fire, not fire water. They say
Oh,
fire or with a petrol.
Yeah.
So it's like super strict family. I don't go out with my friends. So like my teenage years up to my adult years, I wasn't allowed to go out with friends. That was like the downside of being in a strict family. So all we did was go to school and work and like doing sports. And then we did try to sneak around a little bit here and there.
There's a bit of that.
Yeah, but I eventually moved out because I needed social interaction like anyone else, right?
Anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I moved out at 25 years old.
Oh, okay, I understand.
That's like the
That was
last
it.
straw. Yeah, that was it. Like,
Okay.
no, I have to go out.
Okay,
Yes.
I understand.
Yeah.
I grew up in a similar family, so
Yeah.
I felt I had to get out.
Do you feel like it affects you as an adult if you come from like
A strict sort of family?
yeah, there are things that you are unable to do, and then when you be an adult with your own liberty, do you feel like you do things more freely, and does it affect you as a person in terms of like social interaction or how you work?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's it's a whole thing that needs to be unpacked.
Yeah,
It definitely, I mean, it has its upsides and its downsides.
yeah,
So, like, I noticed that there were some families I saw where it was just loosey-goosey. And for
yeah. I've seen I've seen
a
that.
lot of those individuals, they just, they end up doing nothing. And there could be other things going on behind the scenes,
Yeah,
certainly. But I think for myself, what I notice is like I had to really learn how to interact with people.
yeah, me too.
In the early 20s, it was like I was very awkward and very,
Yeah,
socially inept in a way.
yeah, me too, me too.
And so I made that a big priority because I just kind of was a bit extreme. Like I moved across the country
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm out of here. I'm done with
yeah,
this. And it was just like, I was like, I didn't like what's wrong with me? Why am I not like,
yeah.
why am I saying all the wrong things?
Yeah,
So
because social skills is something you need to learn and
yeah,
develop over the years.
over the years. And
Yeah,
so that was something that I definitely had to acquire over time, but
yeah,
I made it a priority.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
I'm okay now.
yeah.
Uh,
Same.
okay.
I had to. I feel like only of the recent years, that I learned to interact with people more effectively.
Okay.
Especially my husband, he's like a social butterfly.
Is he
He's great with people. He's great, and he says the right things most times. And I would watch him like because he's very confident, he can go into a room of people that he don't know, strangers, and just make friends just like
Oh,
that. And
yeah.
I guess that's um how it is if you're a business person, right? You go
Yeah.
and meet new people, connect, and that's like a part of his job which he really loves. And so I just watch him by the sideline. I'm like, wow, that's really impressive. And
Yeah.
I want to be just like that because that's
Interesting.
not something that I had in me that I have in me for a long time.
Yeah.
Over the years, only up till recently, I'm like, wow, I think I've gotten a hang of this.
You the
And I
hang of it.
like it, and I like
Yeah.
it. And I used to be really socially awkward, and like because I grew up in doing competitive sport. My dad was also very competitive, so I took up this like really toxic competitive trait.
Certainly.
Yeah, because you can be friendly. Like if I see someone, like I wanna like fight her, like not in a good way. Like if I see someone better than me, like I must be better than her. It's very toxic, and then I guess people can feel your energy.
Yeah.
And then I grew up like thinking like, oh, why don't I have like a lot of friends? Because obviously, people can sense your vibe. Yeah.
That is so interesting. Well, no, I appreciate you sharing that
Yeah.
because it's very interesting. So then how did that shape? Because you worked with preschoolers
Yeah.
and you worked
Kids
with
and
kids.
adults are different.
They're very different. Okay. 'Cause
They're easier.
okay.
Yeah.
So the kids are easier. So how did you then being this very competitive sort of individual,
Yeah.
so how did that affect and impact you when you're working at the preschool?
It doesn't. It
Okay.
doesn't. It doesn't. Because I see kids as like a different form of human. I
Okay.
feel pure.
Class.
Yeah, weight class. They're different weight class. They're pure. They don't. That they don't have any ill intention.
Yeah.
They're just the way they are.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, so for me, it's like they're not a threat.
Okay. Okay.
For
Fair enough.
adults, you're like, a bit skeptical,
Okay.
I'm not sure why I'm like that at that point of time, but now I'm
Yeah.
less of like, feeling skeptical of people. I just want to be friends with everyone.
Was stimulus for you? Was there this moment where it's like you're on the couch eating potato chip and you're just finally like, that's it, I'm done? Or like
Yeah.
something, a straw that broke the camel's back?
Yeah.
And you had this moment, it's like, I'm getting back into training.
Yeah.
I want to go and do boxing, seriously. Or
Yeah.
was there this moment that occurred for you?
Yeah, because when I had that phase with my boyfriend, it's sort of like I'm deprived of a lot of things. First of all, like social interaction because I'm always with my boyfriend at that point of time. Number two is deprived of like having good outlet because I wasn't exercising. So I slowly get back into exercising, and I'm like, okay, I need to lose some weight. And then like, okay, I start boxing again. And then when I decide to like, just lose some weight, everything just flows.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything just flows because like, I'm good at martial arts. So if you go into a gym, and especially I'm competitive, right? I want to be good.
Yeah.
So like people would eventually like see you,
Mm.
especially female in a male environment,
Sure.
and they're like, oh, you're good. How about start competing? I'm like, yeah, good idea.
Good idea. I'll go for that.
So that's
Wow.
how it started. Like
That's
that's the
interesting.
flow. Yeah.
Okay. So then even for your socializing, like what you're talking about with this very competitive streak,
Yeah.
was there a moment ever for you, especially in this phase,
Yeah.
where you went from I want to be better than this person to I want to be better than I was
Yeah.
yesterday?
Yeah. I
And
think.
the focus shift.
Yeah. I think it's only in the recent years. Like it's weird
Okay.
because
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I think so. I'm 35 now. I think about 30 years old, I realized that.
You're 35?
I'm 35 years old.
Okay.
I'm 35. So at 30 years old, then I realized like, it's always me versus me. And it's not
Okay.
anyone else. Because when you get into professional boxing,
Yeah.
when you get into a sport and you want to do it professionally or seriously, you have a team, but a lot of times it's just like you versus you. Like you realize like there'll be friends that support you, but to what extent?
Yep.
There'll be people that's going to be with you by your side, but to what extent?
Yep.
Right? And then when I got married to my husband is when I found my circle where I feel like, okay, my husband is going to be there for me. He's my coach and he helped me, find people, sponsors and things like that. Okay. So the people that's important is just me, my husband, my family,
Yeah.
and people that matters.
Yeah.
And I do not have to compete with anyone else except for myself. And I guess like that tunnel vision of like knowing where you want to be at the end of the road is that's what will make the difference, I guess. Like you're just more focused about getting to your goal
Absolutely.
than like wanting to compete with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't compete because they're on their own journey and you're on your own journey.
Correct.
That's when I realized that. And when I became a mother, then something in me, I'm not sure what chemically changed, but like I became like a more peaceful, more zen, more, I guess, I want to say more polite with people, aggressive.
Okay. So we're meeting the very more polite, less aggressive.
New, yeah. 2.0, Fash 2.0.
2.0, Fash 2.0.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I feel that when I had my son and when I became a parent, that was the biggest change in me personally.
Correct.
And because what happened was instead of everything being here focused, it was all of a sudden like out there focused.
Yeah, correct.
And so that's interesting.
Yeah, I find it weird as well because like it's almost like a two different person.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not sure what, and up till today I'm like figuring what has happened inside of me, but like I like this new me since I became a mom.
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I mean mixed feelings. There are days where it's difficult, and then you're like,
yeah, no, there is.
There fucking stuff like
yes.
Like I want to be just training and not taking care of another human being. But now I'm like, I cannot sleep and
like that sometimes.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids can bring this absolute rage out of you.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
How old is your son?
He's 12 now.
12 years of being a parent.
Yeah, 12 years of being
Long.
a parent.
Feels like forever.
It feels
It's like short but forever.
Well, the thing is like you said, you feel like you had Fash 1.0 and then Fash 2.0. Like it's completely different person. And I feel that way because I look at myself because I had him when I was 25. I look at John pre-25.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's just this completely different individual. Yeah. And all of the components and all of the foundations and things are there. But then it became more polished.
Yeah, correct.
After that.
You're a more polished person.
Correct. Well, you talking about how, you changed that toxic competitive mindset. Was there any inner work you did? Or?
So there was like a lot of things that happened at one time, and obviously you're questioning like, why am I like this? Because it's not a good feeling. And like to have a certain kind of awareness requires you to be at a certain level of maturity. And I guess with maturity, then you will like think about it, right? So I do go through like counseling because like a lot of, so my upbringing was a bit rough. So I went to counseling just to like, like understand what I'm feeling and things like that. So then I discover new things about myself. And when I do things or when I react to things, I'm like, oh, like there are more awareness to how I'm behaving.
Yeah.
So I feel like I reflect a lot on like myself. At the end of the day, I do a lot of reflection as well. And that's when I'm like, okay, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be saying that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But you need like a certain level of awareness, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I guess like if you want to be a better person, reflection is one of the most important thing that you need to do.
It is.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to
I don't journal, but I just like, in bed or like sipping a cup of coffee, you'd be like reflecting stuff. Even now, like as a mom, like I have a stepson.
Yeah.
Who's 9 years old. So in my Instagram profile, I say like I break faces, stereotypes, and generational trauma.
Yeah.
So as a parent, I realized that, oh, these are the trait of my parent that I don't want to take on and I should not repeat. So if I do say something to my stepson that would hurt him, I will apologize.
That's great.
Yeah,
oh my
so
gosh.
the Asian parents don't apologize,
No,
right?
they don't.
You want to eat?
You want to eat?
That's like their way of showing love, but like there are a lot of things that my parents do that I want to follow, but there are also things that, that's not right. But that's also because like there was a point of time where I blame my parent, like, why are they so hard on me? Why are they so aggressive? Asian parenting in the 90s don't spare you. I know. They cane you.
Southern parenting.
Correct.
Same.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you.
Right. Yeah. And I'll be like, oh, why do you have to hurt me when I have a baby? Like, oh, why would you hurt your child? But then I also have this awareness of like, we are of a generation that's more informed. We have TikTok, we have Chat GPT, we have AI. So we have accessibility to information and knowledge, while they don't. They do what they know and what they can. So I don't really like, blame them. And that's how you find peace within yourself as well. You forgive people.
I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because they're being raised by their parents.
Yeah, they're boomers.
Yeah. But that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
Having self-reflection.
Yeah.
So then my question is, you get back into training. I'm assuming you were training in a gym where it's like primarily men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you were saying earlier that it's like people take notice, like there's this one lady who's boxing. And I mean, the first question is, what drove you to want to box in particular, like having so many different sports or even martial arts? What is it about boxing, number one?
So I wasn't a boxer actually. I did Muay Thai at that period of time. So there are two different sports. One is like you use your legs, you can kick.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was also playing football. So I was doing Muay Thai and football at the same time. And when I was playing football, I injured my leg and I had to be on a cast. So that means that I couldn't kick. So then I'm like, okay, let's focus on my hands because they're shit anyway. So I was like focusing. And then when the leg healed, I didn't want to like, put more trauma to it. And I was already into boxing. So like I was just doing what I was doing. And then got into a fight for fun. For fun. And then the president of Boxing Association was there and he was like, you're good. I'm going to take you into the national team. I'm like, oh, okay. And then a few weeks later, I got a call like, oh, you don't want to go to Hong Kong? There's a overseas tournament.
What?
Yeah.
No
So
way.
that's how fast it was. So I can say like my boxing fundamentally wasn't that good because like, I do it for fun.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like focus on the fundamentals, but I did a lot of competition. It was more like aggression, just like,
that
like
drove you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So would you say you're more of a scrappy sort of fighter at the beginning?
Yeah.
Less than technical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Less technical.
Oh,
Yeah.
fascinating. That's incredible.
Yeah.
But it's that drive and that energy that sometimes can make the difference.
Correct. And being picked, like,
Yeah.
because I guess a lot of the sports that I do come from wanting to be cool.
Okay.
So people are like, why do you box? I'm like, oh, because they give me good discipline. But really, it's because I wanted to be cool.
Okay.
I wanted to be different, you know what I mean? I wanted to stand out.
Okay.
And I didn't want to, play netball like the other girls.
Yeah,
So just
yeah.
wanting to stand out was like one of the core reasons why I did boxing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So now I'm coaching a bunch of kids that's going through youth. They call it youth with adversities. And I was asking them why they pick boxing. They're like, oh, they were shy to say, but they say, because it's cool. I'm like, don't worry, that's a great start.
Yeah,
like
that's a
wanting to
great
stand
start.
out and be
Yeah, yeah.
different is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes wonderful things occur from
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah.
That's nice. All right. So yeah, it sounds like your boxing it happened quite fast.
Very
And
fast.
then okay, the thing I'm curious about is so you've always had this artistic sort of leaning in you, and you've always wanted to do maybe even performing or something like that. Do you feel like when you go into the ring that there is this more performance sort of element, and that it's like there's almost an art form to it?
Yeah. Definitely, especially being in the center of the ring and like everyone watching you. And weirdly, I have stage fright.
Okay.
But when I get in the ring, I don't get stage fright. I want to perform, but I have stage fright. So, yeah, I do have stage fright actually. But I guess being confident on stage is a skill as well. So you need to learn. But yeah, it's more so when you become a professional boxer.
Okay.
Because like you see on TV, it's very performative. They wear nice and they talk a lot of trash, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are real, some of them are not. So
Yeah.
more so
understand.
in professional boxing. And that's what I like about professional boxing,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Fascinating. So when you are actually boxing and when you're in there, do you feel that there's this different person that takes over?
I'm not sure because when I get in the ring, I'm thinking more about the strategy. So it depends, but depends on the fight. They can bring different things out of you, depending on the situation, depending who you're fighting, depending on the audience. You want to bring out different things out of you.
Sure.
More for like performance, or you want to show your skill. Like, oh, this fight, I want to show a lot of my skills. Then I'm like, okay, be a bit more showy, boaty, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, so a different
Interesting.
fight will bring out different things.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. In terms of, like, I know you have the Muay Thai background,
Yeah.
and you, of course, have martial arts like karate and everything, but you talk about the strategy and your mind being in that place and at that time when you're actually boxing. In terms of learning that strategy, was it something that you learned really quickly as well? Like you realize like the audience likes it when I do this,
Yeah.
or like this really seems to get things moving, or is it something that had to be done over years?
Yeah, I think it's done over the years, but also the early years of boxing is the Olympic boxing, and now I'm in professional boxing. They're boxing, but of two different
Breeds.
Yeah, correct. Two different breeds.
Okay, fair enough.
One is not better than the other because in Singapore or like anywhere else, they often like try to see which one is better. You know,
Sure, yeah,
especially
right.
right?
It's like
which boxer is better?
is this apple better or is this orange?
Yeah, exactly right. You're looking at different things, and then obviously with professional boxing, anyone can get into professional boxing, but
Okay.
you will see the difference in terms of the quality of the boxing when you see the person box. You're like, okay, this is a legit professional boxer. This is a guy who's just trying out boxing. You'll see, right? So a lot of times people in Singapore, they're like, oh, anyone can go into professional boxing. But yeah, sure, it's just a matter of time where you can see the difference, right? Yeah. So there's no use like comparing apples and orange because they're two different things.
True, fair
And
enough.
yeah, Olympic boxing is a very difficult sport as well.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
And Olympic is the one that you first started doing the competitions for.
Where there's like red and blue corner.
Right.
Where he headgear. So that's Olympic boxing.
Ah,
Professional boxing, we're like in our own costume and bling here and there, you know.
Yeah, I know. I get the difference. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Then you're doing the actual very physical, very competitive.
Yeah. So
the
they're two
Olympic
like, you know, when you're in Olympic boxing, you try to be like fast and twitchy, but like in professional boxing, I learned different things at different phase of life. But now, especially with my husband being my coach, I get to slow down, refine my technique. And I've got like mental coach as well. So like I get to really slow down the process of, you know, boxing and discovering myself as an athlete as well. Yeah. Back then it's just like fast because like I get picked very fast.
Yeah.
And then just like thrown into like overseas
Yeah.
competition, you know.
And the Olympic one is the one you earned the gold medal in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when it came to the Olympic sort of boxing, when you step into the ring for this match,
Yeah.
the gold is on the line.
Yeah.
How does it feel for you?
It's funny because I'm gonna be truthful about this one.
Go
So
for it, yeah.
when I got the gold medal, it was right after SEA Games. So SEA Games 2015 in Singapore,
Okay.
that was like our whole preparation. And then after SEA Games, like a lot of us were not training very seriously. And I was one of them. I was training, but not very seriously.
Okay.
And my weight wasn't like right. So like, I mean, it's a learning journey, of course. That's when I realized that, you know, even when you don't have a competition, you gotta train. So I went into that competition not very fit and not very good. But yeah, I guess, again, it's meant to be. It's meant to be. I guess that gold
Yeah.
medal was meant for me. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie to say like, oh, I trained very hard for it. I was a bit lazy at that point of time.
That's okay, but like when you actually step into the ring,
Yeah.
like what's in your mind and what like
I was like, I guess coming off from SEA Games as well, I still have that competitive flair from
Okay.
SEA Games.
Yeah.
So it's still there, just with a little bit more unfit body. But when I got the gold, I didn't even think about like, oh, I'm like the first person to get the gold medal, because I'm like, okay, I won finally an overseas competition, because I've
Yeah.
been to Hong Kong a few times to compete, and then
Certainly.
finally, it's always like a close like competition when I go to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It's not it's not too high of a competition, and it's like me. So when I won that, and then I saw that there was an article that says, oh, I'm the first gold medalist. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice to know.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Interesting.
yeah,
So
that's nice to know.
I mean, it sounds like you were kind of ready, like you'd already been doing all of this,
Yeah.
the competitions.
Some competition you go in a little bit. At that point of time, I feel like, okay, I'm a little bit unprepared, but like I've been here before.
I've been here before.
Yeah, so it's a familiar feeling.
That's
And,
good.
you know, so you just use that experience as a tool to do some stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's nice. For the pro boxing and all of this, were you having to take on other jobs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess like if you're an athlete in Singapore, and just depend on being an athlete really, because
Oh,
it's
okay.
just a different business model
Yeah.
as compared to like other countries. A lot of us do have like a lot of side jobs. So I was working full time and training full time.
Okay.
So I was training, I was coaching, I was the head coach. At one point I was the head coach in Balestier, but I was also running Balestier outlet for Spartans Boxing Club. And on top of that, I do personal training. So that's like 3 full-time jobs
Yeah,
on the side,
that's a lot.
plus putting in full-time training. So it was very taxing. It was very difficult, tiring.
Were you married at this point?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah. But I was in a relationship with my husband then.
Okay. And so managing all of that and doing all of that, you've also started your own company, Boxer, right?
Yeah.
And how does that work in with your life?
It's tough.
Okay.
So like doing obviously the catalyst of doing all of that is because I needed to fund myself. Lots of personal training and coaching and being a business owner. So business owner means like I'm running the gym and then start my own business. The catalyst was to fund myself.
Fund yourself.
For training, and because finding a sponsor was so difficult. But yeah, I feel like it came to a point where I'm putting not enough energy to all of them. It's like, you know, having a lot of children
Yeah.
and just like,
Kind of.
just cruising with all the 5 children. So like you don't really focus on an individual. So it was like that with my business and with coaching, because obviously you're tired and you come to a point where like I have an extra time. Do I eat or do I train? Do I train or do I sleep? Do I sleep or do I work? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's always like between all of that thing. So it was extremely difficult, and especially not having a sponsor, it doesn't help. But now when I had a baby as well, I had the same problem where, you know, I had the baby and then I'm trying to find my old self back, trying to get into boxing again, trying to run a business. So it's more like, and then what happened was my helper, oh bless her, she took on a lot of like to a point where even herself, like, okay, the house is like not very tidy. There's food or not, but the baby she needs to take care of the baby while I go and train, you know what I mean? So everyone's doing their best, but like it came to a point where I feel like, okay, something needs to change, and I cannot like juggle everything together.
Interesting.
Yeah. So what happened with Boxer is that we used to run it because it was a hobby project, but now we want to expand it to Australia.
Oh, okay.
So how Boxer started was I started coaching, and then there were like more girls starting to come into the gym.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, do we have smaller boxing gloves? Because in the gym itself, you will have house glove. Means like if someone come in and they want to try boxing, they can just use the house gloves.
Okay.
And I said, oh no, because for you to have safe training, you need to put on a 14 ounce. So that's by weight. Now, even myself back then, like, I'm like, wow, 14 ounces and 16 ounces, so huge. They're like as big as my head.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's when we realized that, oh, this is actually a hole in the market, because I wanted to start a business, but I don't want to like do what everybody is doing again. Like, I just wanted to be different.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, this is the hole in business. Let's find someone who is on board with me. So I found my business partner who was also like into boxing, and boxing changed her life. She was going through premenopause and stuff like that. That's how it changed her life. And she's like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
But it's difficult because it's like a niche within a niche.
It is.
Yeah. So it's very difficult. So we're trying to expand to Australia, and because Singapore is such a small country.
Yeah.
And we want to focus on expanding to other regions of the world as well.
But I think it's a great business, and just not like, I never realized that actually it's the weight of the glove that matters. But it's the size is just going to end up being
correct.
A standard kind of male size.
Yeah, correct.
So,
it is. I think like the common gloves are also too big for like the guys.
Yeah, anytime I put them on, they're
Yeah,
huge.
and there's
too.
like smaller guys too. So like some of the guys wear boxer gloves as well. And if it fits it, that's great. But like you don't want to like, wear big gloves. And I guess that comes with educating people. But like, a lot of the girls like myself have been integrating in the sport for such a long time. It's one of the longest standing sport in the world. When women start doing boxing, they integrate themselves into the male dominated industry. So they just like use whatever. But now there's a lady coming in and say, you've been wearing the wrong gloves all this while, and they're like,
yeah,
it's fine, I've been using this. But like, really think about it again. Just sit down and think about it and try my glove and have like an open mind. Have so that we can have an open conversation about how we can change things.
Absolutely.
I think I love innovation, because within the female space, a lot of things have innovated. For example, things that I recently found out is menstrual cup. Menstrual cup, if you don't know what it is, it's like a tampon, but you put a cup in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the best thing that's ever happened. And I use menstrual cup, and I'm like, wow, this is great. Innovation within women's spaces. There are things that needs to change.
Yes.
Right? Because a lot of things like were made by men.
Yes. For men.
And men, yeah. And men don't know like what we go through. So like, we need women. I saw an article recently that I think it's one of the more high-end fashion. They were saying like, I cannot remember whether it's Chanel or Dior. They were saying like, oh, a lot of the designer are men. We need more female designers. And that makes a lot of sense, right?
I mean, it does.
Yeah. Because women know
going
the
right
women
to the source.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's why. So even in boxing, you have like women's groin guard, and we use groin guard with like the bulge at the front because there's no proper groin guard. We use male groin guard. Yeah, yeah. And then there's like,
wow.
Yeah.
I'm not a boxer. But
Yeah.
like I never.
But like,
these
wow,
things.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So there are a lot of things that needs to change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you're one of the forerunners of doing that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'll admit, when I learned about your boxer gloves and we spoke about it, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, actually, the gloves have always felt so big for me because my hands are a bit smaller. I was like, I wonder if I could try.
Yeah. Yeah. I should have brought some.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I think your point is very valid, and so much of the things in this world and so many of the things that have been created are by men for men.
Yeah. And ours is by women that box, for women who box. Yeah. I just wish like in Singapore that people are more open-minded to try new things, and to just listen to me. Just listen and hear me out. Like just try it. You know what I mean?
Hopefully we can get them to here.
Yeah.
and say this.
Yeah.
So was the R&D process difficult, like finding suppliers, learning to design them?
Finding supplies is one of the biggest
Mm,
challenge
okay.
if you want to start a business, unless you want your business to be like just a carbon copy of everything else. Like the
True.
fitness industry now, the sports bra and the tights are all like, copied and painted with like different colors. But for us, we had to change, and we are still evolving with the gloves that we have. We want to always make it better,
Okay. Yes.
especially if you want to generate money for the company. And like going through these processes are very time consuming. It can take up to 3 months.
Sure.
And that's
Wow.
if you are okay with the samples. But if not, then you have to go back and forth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
know what
yeah,
you mean. Yeah.
yeah. But like I just wish that we can like make sure the designs, there's so many things to do so that people don't copy like our prototype and things like that.
Yeah.
So many things to do, so little money, so little time.
I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. But now we've got like a CEO, a marketing team, and we've got the back end of like the e-commerce all
Okay.
sorted. At least we have someone driving the company, and I'm not doing it on my own with my partner. So
Yeah.
that took off a bit of like load.
That's good.
Yeah, because my business partner is also a mom and a director of a brand,
Yeah.
like a brand marketing director.
Right.
So it was a lot for us.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, show me the gloves sometime and I'll
I
make a
will.
reel or
I
something and
I
we
will.
can get the voice out there because I think it's really important
Yep.
to say what you're doing and to let people know because sometimes people don't know that this is an option for
Yep.
them.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very important. So you are mentioning that getting sponsorship can be a little bit difficult, maybe especially in Singapore.
Yeah.
In terms of like, I only know like social media stuff, but like in terms of boxing and professional boxing, like how does that work out? Have you done it?
I think so. I've been boxing for the past 15 years competitively. And a lot of my sponsorship comes from like either product sponsorship
Okay.
or service sponsorship. So
Okay.
earlier on in my career, I said to myself, as long as I get my trainings covered and my
Mhm.
physio covered or meals covered, that covers like the main part of training, which
Okay.
is expensive, right? Because
Okay.
physio is expensive. Per session is about $180
Wow.
per session. But
Okay.
if you're training 2 times a day, you need to go at least 1 time a week, right? Plus, you need
Okay.
to have like massages on top of physio.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
put just put recovery on its own 180 plus a session of massage. So that costs almost 300 plus ish. That's
Yeah.
a lot just for a week.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get you. I get
For
you.
a week,
Yeah.
right? So
I'm calculating.
yeah, and then we've got the meals, which also like, if you're doing your own meals, you need to cook, you need to buy the groceries. So it's time consuming, it's expensive. So a lot of my earlier sponsors are all product and services. And then now we've reached to a point where, my husband and I are like, and my husband is a business person. It's like, no, we're not taking any product business and with product sponsors anymore because we're not getting much. Because what we need
Oh,
is
okay.
money.
Yes.
If we wanna reach our goal in the next 5 years, we need money.
Fair enough.
Let's go out and find company that want to champion women in sport and male
Oh,
dominated sport, especially a Muslim woman who is
yeah.
a mother, who is a coach, breaking all kinds of stereotype and
Okay.
trying to make it in the industry. Let's find a company that can champion that. So over the past
Okay.
15 years, I've only had two monetary sponsors. Two
Oh,
over the past 15 years. Not a lot. It's not a big chunk. Put them together, it doesn't cover one fight camp.
wow. Okay.
Then recently we found a company that finally decided to, come on on board and, join into the team. The company's name is Shortcuts. It's actually
Okay.
a slimming company. But I'll tell you the history of the company
Okay.
and how we got together. So we were on a hunt to find monetary sponsors, and we've been emailing lots and lots and lots of company. We didn't get any luck. No reply, or people just say no, it's not their business model. And then we were at an expo one time, and it was like a expo where all these Southeast Asian celebrities have a business. It's all in a room, and then we were standing there, and we're like, okay, let's look at like all the participating companies. And I'm like, I've seen these shortcuts before because the lady used to be on a panel of something, and I used to listen to her, and I'm like very moved by her journey of being an entrepreneur. I'm like, told my husband, can you just drop them an email and let's see whether we get our luck. But if not, and obviously because it's a slimming product, it contradict of my lifestyle because I eat whole food. He's like, okay, when we get to that stage that we need to think about it, then we will. But Shortcut immediately replied. They're like, we're interested in you.
Okay.
And what happened was we got into a meeting and they said, okay, our company is a slimming company, but we want to steer away from slimming, that word slimming and
Interesting.
fat burning
Yeah,
because
yeah.
for over the past 4 years, that's their business model. But then they realized that there's no shortcuts to losing weight and things like that. And they want to like rebrand themselves and change the messaging. They're on a process to, rebranding and stuff like that. And they said like, they want to make sure people take their products and exercise at the same time because there's no shortcuts, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I come in.
Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that's where I
This is
come
like
in.
perfect timing then.
Yes, correct.
No
They're
way!
rebranding and they need someone to like, yeah.
Dude, that is crazy actually.
Yeah.
That you guys are the ones that reached out and they're like, this is it. Like,
Yes, correct. So they need me and I need them. And they're like, you know what? We want to offer these services to our members who purchase our product.
my goodness.
To, work out. Why not you come in and like show them how to box?
Yeah.
So that's my role in the
That's incredible.
It's incredible, right? So I
Yeah.
feel like as a local business that's trying to educate people, that's trying to like go away from like very toxic branding to something more positive, that's where
Yeah.
I want to support. And
Oh,
especially if they
okay.
want to support me, we're supporting each other. And I'm always open to people who want to educate others. So that's where I come in. That's my role.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to commend the brand too because
Yeah.
it's great that they can make that pivot as well.
Yeah, I
because
guess again, like
it's got to
any
be holistic.
correct. That's why I said as a business person, like innovation is one of the things that you need to, do because like you learn over the years as a business, like this does not work and you need to pivot. Now it's time to
Yes.
pivot. So I'm here to help them.
You guys get to pivot at the same time.
Correct.
Yeah, like
Yes.
that's really cool.
And like I was telling some of my friends who asked about like, oh, tell me more about your sponsorship. I'm like, it's such a good timing because I'm at a stage where I need to get serious training, serious sparring camp. I want to go to the US and
Oh,
train.
okay.
And this come at such a good time. I guess like God's timing is always perfect.
Exactly.
And when it's your time, it's your time.
And it sounds like you've had a lot of good timings actually.
Yeah,
in your
and
life.
working with shortcuts was very smooth as well because when we told some of our friends, they're like, oh, like, be careful of, the brand. And we did not take on their thoughts because we don't want to be biased, especially before meeting them. So we came in with such an open mind and wanting to meet new people, especially. I guess if your intentions are right, everything will go smoothly.
It will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I guess it all starts with intention. But from afar, people wouldn't know, right? Unless
they
you
don't
ask
know.
me. Like, why would you tell people to slim down, especially you're an athlete?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I hope-
It's been about 2 years or more that we've been trying to do this. It's quite demoralizing at one point because
Yeah.
you cannot fund yourself
Yeah,
anymore, right? Back then
Yes.
I can work. I can be doing so many things on the side, but now I have the baby. I'm not even working right now.
So that was some of the other questions I have.
Yeah.
Is your baby's 22 months,
Yeah.
right? So you were, and of course we calculated in the
Yeah.
9 months of
Yeah.
pregnancy. It's
Yeah.
this 2 years.
Yeah. And I've not
Pretty
been
much.
working. I'm not working now, and I'm like, it's very demoralizing. I do not have like the same amount of money I used to have. I do not have like the same time, the same
Interesting.
amount of energy.
Yes.
So it's been difficult.
Would you be okay unpacking some of the differences that have happened in motherhood?
Easily.
Because I'm curious to know. Like, you look like you want to say something, so I just let you. Go ahead.
I
jump
mean,
into
there's a lot of difference because then, like, training, you can just like do your own schedule.
Yes.
But now it's like literally wake up, baby. If the baby behaves, the way you expect them to, then okay, you can go to training. But like again, for the past few days, for example, like she's been sick, I don't get to go to training. But back then I can sacrifice certain things, but now I have to sacrifice training to tend to her.
Yeah.
And then like you don't get to have your nap, you don't get to eat when mama's bear porridge is always the coldest. There's a reason for it, right?
Right.
So everyone's food is hot except for yours. My coffee is always cold.
True.
Yeah, so I don't have the same energy. I don't have the same amount of, I don't know, just everything is not the same.
Mentally?
Mentally, you are definitely stronger. Mentally, you are stronger, more resilient as well.
Mm,
But like time, money, and energy, not the same.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I do take a lot of supplements. If you're in your early 20s, you can say you don't believe in supplements, but wait till you get to your 30s and
Yeah.
with a baby. And a lot of people are anti supplements, but I am not anti of anything. Because again, innovation in life, you need DHA, you need omega. If you're pregnant, you need folic acid. You know, there's so many things. So you cannot be
Yes.
closing one door just because if like you're a purist, you depend on food. But you know, you
But
cannot
even
flexibility.
the modern diet, and I won't go long on this
Yeah.
rant, but the modern diet too is very different from the past
Yeah.
because when food was just grown in the soil,
Yeah.
you're eating a lot of whole food
Yeah.
and you're getting directly from the area of the ground, and there's
Yeah.
a variety of
Yeah.
food
Yeah.
that's occurring. However, now I could eat fried chicken every single day if I
Yeah.
really
If
wanted.
you see
You know
our
what I
grapes,
mean?
they look like they're curated.
They look like, but a lot of it is curated for aesthetics.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
so when we talk about these supplements, it's, and this is something close to my heart, a lot of things have been bred out of a lot of natural foods that we used
Yeah.
to have, minerals, vitamins,
Yeah.
all of this sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with just incorporating them. And there's healthy brands. There's,
Yeah.
natural brands. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to just go with the top shelf one,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like how you look at life is very important. So it covers a lot of things with food and how you talk to people. Flexibility is very important.
Very important.
Yeah, because there's no cookie cutter,
No.
especially in life with human, especially,
Mm.
and in this generation, especially, we are so informed that humans are not the same and they
Yeah.
don't go through the same path. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Then I have another question. In motherhood, has it changed your perspective on what you're doing and why you're doing?
Yeah. And my approach to stuff as well. Like I said, I used to be very aggressive as well. But my approach now has been more gentle.
Aw.
And I find that if I want to lead another human being, if I want to educate someone, I feel like being an educator is not for everyone. Because to educate, you need to have a certain flair, the way you speak, and the way you act, and the way you, model things. So like, yeah, with motherhood, perspective changes. Like, okay, why is she doing this? It's not because she's naughty. There's many, many other different things.
Yeah.
It's not because she can be hungry, but there's many other different things. So like, yeah, like how you approach things are very important. You
Mm,
don't assume, especially.
correct.
Yeah.
No, it's a
Yeah.
big learning journey.
Yeah, especially coming from a very typical Asian background. Like, your parents don't talk about your feelings,
How did that make you
How
feel?
does that make you feel? Like,
Yeah.
especially my family is blended as well as yours.
Yeah.
Like, you get to incorporate like an Asian style and a Western style into your parenting, which is a great balance.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
see.
I find myself with like, how you feeling? You're okay? Like,
Yeah.
tell me more. Like, it's so weird, but like,
Yes.
I'm willing to try.
Mm.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, even for mine, because I grew up in the South, we didn't talk about feelings. We
Yeah.
didn't talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, in many ways, it's a learning journey for the both of us.
Yeah.
Just having to be like, this feels so weird. Like,
Yeah,
doing
I
this.
know. But doing it together makes it easier if
Makes
you're
it
on the
easier.
same like direction.
Correct.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
fighting. Like our parenting style with my husband and I used to clash. But I'm like,
Is it?
okay, again, we cannot close one door because you think your door is right.
Correct.
So I'm like, okay, let's open both doors and incorporate both into the lifestyle. That's how you make things better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and unique.
Your husband is from,
Australia.
no wonder. Okay. Then you've got that.
Lots of woke people there.
And depending on where in Australia,
Yeah.
Melbourne?
Yeah.
Say, okay. Yeah. And so I can understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a learning process.
It is. Yeah. I guess again, being a mother, being a parent just change you.
It does. It changes you. So are there any things that you want to pass on to your daughter, or like things that you don't want her to have to kind of do in life?
People always ask me if I want her to be a boxer, but
Mm.
I always tell them that she can be anything she wants. Like I didn't get to be a
Violinist.
violinist. I didn't get to be a ballet dancer. I didn't get to be a theater actress. But I'm still happy. But she can be whoever she wants. And I always say, just don't be a shit person, please.
Yeah.
Just be kind. Put your heart and soul into what you want to do. Don't let others' words bring you down. And as a parent, I believe that, you know, I want to be that parent where even if she make mistake, I will be there for her. Like, I will not say, you know, that's your shit and you do your, I'll be here. Even if you go out and you get into trouble, just call for me. You know, you wouldn't be in trouble. You know, I just want to be that comfort space, that safe space for her. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important.
Yeah.
You'll always have a place to go.
Yeah. I don't want her to be afraid of me. Like I
That's-
used to be afraid of my parents.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
Like, I'm gonna get in trouble, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
Then, in wrapping up too, being a professional boxer, but not only that, but a female boxer, a minority, you know, is there anything that you would like to share with either other women or people who are, even if it's not boxing, but saying how to just keep going and keep moving
Yeah.
or navigating the world?
Correct. Like I feel like I've been through lots of phases, like of times where I want to give up. And I feel like the people you surround yourself with is very important. Having your pillar of strength, like for example, mine is my husband, is also very important. No matter, I mean, it can be your mom, your dad, your husband, your wife. I think having that very solid support system is incredibly important. And not having to care what people say. You follow your gut feeling and you just listen to the people that you love and work towards your goal. Because if every professional athlete listen to what other people think of them, they won't they won't be where they are right now. So you do you, follow your gut feeling and just, you know, don't do it for other people really. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you. And I appreciate you sharing that and for coming on and sharing your wisdom. Cheers. And thank you all for watching.